Reading
Yeah.
and
Any more candidates joined us, Nick, or not yet?
not yet.
Let me text to one of the candidates, see if they can pick up my phone.
I did send a reminder to all of them.
Yeah.
Dr. Kamar has joined.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, Dr. Kamar.
Hey, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, Dr. Naeem.
How are you?
Nick, can you send link again to Dr. Mayuddin, please? He has little technical difficulty.
I just texted it to him.
Okay, sure. He has texted to you, please. Sure. Yeah, we'll email it to you. Sure. Give me a second. Nick, is it possibility to email him, please?
Okay, 1 second.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम हमारा आपको अब ज्वाइन किया थैंक यू
Assalamu alaikum, Sabahat.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम डॉक्टर आसफ मयूद्दीन को हम लोग वो अभी मेरी बात हुई है तो लिंक भेज रहे हैं दोबारा तो ज्वाइन तो अभी मिनट और सो
Okay, no problem.
While he's joining, just you know, some rules. I have prepared a couple of slips. ये 3 slips मैंने बनाई हुई हैं. इसमें से who will start first? So I'll pick up one and then number 2 and number 3 according to these slips. So opening statement में जो number 1 आएगा, उसके बाद number 2, number 3. Then first question हम start कर लेंगे number 2, number 3 and number 1. उसके बाद second question 3, 1, 2 ताकि सबको equal chance मिले पहला करने का या आखिर में आने का. So I'll rotate all these things after this, after the initial first pick. Asif, thanks for joining. So can you hear us well?
I'm having the voice is not well.
No, it's I can hear you very well. So that's good. So let me pick up one of these 3 slips. So number 1 is Dr. Humaira Qamar, if I can show it here. Uske baad, number 2 slip is Dr. Asif Mayuddin. And number 3 is Lubna Naeem, Humaira, Asif, and all right, I'll start with Dr. Humaira Qamar. So as the format is, aapke liye, there are 3 minutes for your opening statement. Please go ahead for your opening statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sabahat. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Asif Mayuddin and Dr. Lubna Naeem. My dear APPNA family, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. It is an honor and privilege for me to present myself to you as a candidate for APPNA President-elect 2023. Let me underscore some of my work for our organization. I have served APPNA for 25 years with the utmost devotion, integrity, and hard work. I worked in over 20 committees. I was the co-founder of the Medical Corps Committee, past president Florida chapter, founding president of APPNA, founding member and executive director APPNA PEDS, past treasurer APPNA, and past treasurer Central APPNA. Now, what is my mission? My mission is to make APPNA more accessible and more attractive to younger physicians and women physicians by appointing them to leadership positions. My mission is to improve the public perception of APPNA by hiring a PR firm, low budget, to highlight APPNA's good work in the media here and in Pakistan. Merit, SWRC, YPC, advocacy committees, and APPNA, and so many other committees do outstanding work in APPNA. This work needs to be highlighted. Some shining examples of outstanding work done by APPNA members include Aisha Zafar, Namra Jamshed, Dr. Paracha, Fateh Shehzad, Shehzad Iqbal, Nahid Chaudhary, Shaheen Mia, and my good friend Sarwat Iqbal, Marhuma. It is incumbent upon the elected officials to serve APPNA with honor and integrity and to vote in the board of directors for conflict resolution and absolutely no litigation. Their public persona should be calm, collegial, and approachable, not distant or combative. I will be sending out regular surveys and doing monthly town hall meetings to get the feedback back from APPNA members about how the organization is doing. Finally, it is my mission to defeat negative campaigning in APPNA so that substance trumps idle gossip. I was targeted in the last 2 elections about a matter involving my husband, which has long since closed, while the issues fell to the wayside. That being said, I would like to state for the record that if either of my opponents do decide to bring up this subject yet again, it will be for one reason and one reason only, because they do not have any achievements of their own to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Humaira Qamar, so much for your opening statement. I will now invite Dr. Asif Mayuddin. You have 3 minutes for the opening statement. Please go ahead, Dr. Asif Mayuddin.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, Dr. Sabahat. I just wanted to offer condolences to Aftab and Farzina Beg for a tragic car accident and loss of a child. May Allah give Zain Jannah and Sabr to the family. I'm Dr. Asif Mayuddin. As you know, I'm a current secretary of APPNA 2022, and I'm planning to run for President-elect 2023. I'm a practicing gastroenterologist. I live in Windermere, Florida. I'm married, I have 4 children. My mother lives with me. My father passed away last year. As a secretary, I've had a great year, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. Dr. Durrani and the BOD did a marvelous job so far. We have had a great year, great meetings, made a lot of profit, had meetings in new places, new venues that made us record profits, met many people, made many friends. As board of directors, we have had a harmonious year, no major disagreements. My vote in the BOD has always been after much consideration and ensuring that there is no harm brought to the association. Throughout the year, I've worked for unity, transparency, harmony, and as the board of director, my conduct everybody has seen it, and I've developed trust across the alumni despite challenges. The association, however, needs to have a more modern approach. To that end, I have launched a social media platform with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all on one platform run by a central communication committee. And we are pushing much more new content on it, modern content. This will help engage in young American physicians and American grads. We lacked that communication tool before, but now we have it. Recently, we have had a new challenge with WFME and the medical school recognition in Pakistan. I'm working with a very good group of individuals in APPNA, and we are connecting and making inroads. PMC has just submitted papers to WFME, and hopefully, this will be a good positive, and hopefully we'll have some resolution of this problem. I have no underhand deals with any candidates. I've brought broad unconditional support from many alumni because they see me as a leader that will take this organization into the right direction. This speaks of my leadership and character. Some opposition members may try to create misgiving about it, but there is
15 seconds, Dr. Asamayuddin.
Yes, and I have worked with transparency, and I'm going to continue to be positive about APPNA, remain steadfast, and I will, if given the opportunity, take APPNA.
Thank you, Dr. Asamayuddin, for your opening statement. We appreciate that. I will now invite Dr. Lubna Naeem to please go ahead for your opening statement for 3 minutes. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I would just like to again start with the offering condolences to Dr. Aftab and Dr. Javed Suleiman, the sad demise of their sons. My name is Dr. Lubna Naeem, candidate for APPNA President-elect. I'm coming up through the ranks and have served as a treasurer and secretary for APPNA, and now I'm requesting with great love and respect the honor of your vote as President-elect. For over 2 decades, I was grateful to have a role as a servant leader, which gave me the opportunity to work on health and well-being of women, children, and minorities. Had the privilege to lead many APPNA successful public health awareness initiatives as chairperson for Women and Children Affairs Committee, including childhood obesity, breast cancer, child sexual abuse prevention, APPNA CDC multi-drug resistant typhoid awareness. For this work, had the opportunity to receive many recognitions and honors, including President Obama Award for Outstanding Volunteer Service. Among other achievements, record meeting revenue more than $1.5 million in 2018, record market growth profit on asset portfolio, which enabled the organization to utilize funds during pandemic. I inaugurated APPNA's physician career portal as a resource for job posting and practice development, did legislation on anti-harassment policy for women to provide level playing field. As a result, we see many women physicians in leading roles. I have roots in American Medical National Organizations. I'm a board of director for Bexar County Medical Society and delegate for TMA. Our work mostly involves working with legislators on physician issues, such as mid-level scope of practice, prior authorization, telemedicine, to name a few. All throughout my executive positions, my work mostly revolved around APPNA's mission of promoting health, medicine, and social well-being of the communities. Our predecessors, such as Dr. Arif Muslim, Dr. Aisha Zafar, Dr. Atiya Khan, all these good folks, they have done a tremendous job laying a solid foundation. It's time to move forward. It's time we mirror other professional organizations and work towards futuristic goals for our future generations. It's time we have a seat on the table and make APPNA visible in American medical national scene. It's time we work diligently with ECFMG accreditation on Pakistani medical schools through WFME program. Empower chapters oriented community volunteering for meaningful grassroots impact. I'm confident.
15 seconds, please.
I'm suited most to uphold the vision and mission of APPNA. When our juniors see that we have shifted our focus from internal politics and we are spending more time promoting science, medicine, and their professional development issues, they will join us in great numbers. The size of our membership will drive our success, and that success.
Thank you so much, Dr. Naeem.
I humbly appeal to your greater intellect to consider my proven success record.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Naeem, for your opening statement. Now we'll start the formal questions. As we have shared these questions in advance to all the candidates to be a fair ground for everybody. So I will start with the first question. And now this is Dr. Asif Mahyuddin's term to answer this first question. I'll repeat this question. In your opinion, what are the three most common negative feelings, impressions an APPNA member and or non-member physician of Pakistani descent has about our organization, and what you suggest to reverse it? Dr. Asif Mahyuddin, please go ahead for 3 minutes.
The biggest challenge APPNA has is the image. There is this image of APPNA that there is lack of civility, there is infighting APPNA groups have, and many physicians don't want to join because of this image. We need a positive image, and we can do that by appointing one of our own BODs members to have member experience officer, and he can work on this and improve the image of APPNA. People also get turned away by lawsuits. We have potential lawsuit. We have had several lawsuits. We need to wonder why. We need to solve the problem, because we let it fester and snowball, and it becomes a big problem. So maybe we could have some kind of judiciary, panel that would solve, that would look at any legislature we are trying to pass and accomplish. Look at the cable document, for example, 53-0, the most democratically, passed document. Yet we have a problem, because the way this was implemented is the problem to some people. If we had somehow gone and took care of this very early on, maybe it would have not gone this far. If we can proactively work on these scenarios, these issues before they snowball, maybe we can solve issues, and then we won't have this problem with lawsuits. Maybe we can appoint some American neutral judges on a panel that we can all trust to solve these legal issues. We also have problem that they perceive that the rules are not followed in APPNA, because then people turn away from being, themselves the good law-abiding citizens. There's a culture that we can break rules and we can get away with it. We need stronger, empowered ethics committee that can have people on probation and membership suspension if needed. There are slandering going on in this campaign. They have slandered me for visiting Houston, talking to Lubna Naeem and saying, oh, there's a conspiracy going on. There is no conspiracy. This is just a theory that they have floated just to harm my candidacy. There is absolutely nothing of this sort, and I would never do such a thing. People know me.
30 seconds, Asif, more, 30 seconds.
We also need to restructure the membership. It's too rigid and people turn away from it because they feel that there need to be a different option. If I'm given the chance, I will restructure the membership, and I'll invite more members to become, more doctors to become members of APPNA, and increase the membership to 5,000 if possible.
Thank you, Asif. Your time is over. Thanks so much for answering this question. I will ask the same question to now Dr. Lubna Naeem's turn. The question is, in your opinion, what are the three most common negative feelings / impressions an APPNA member and or non-member physician of Pakistani descent has about our organization, and your suggestions to reverse this feeling? Go ahead, Dr. Lubna Naeem, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sabahat. First of all, I would like to condemn this negative campaign that has been floated in various social forums by one of the candidates against me and Dr. Asif Mahyuddin regarding what just Asif Mahyuddin just said. And this is very unfortunate, and that is probably the top reason why APPNA members are disgruntled. And just because of certain candidates who have just nothing else to show except for negative campaign. So I feel sorry, but I hope they follow the code of conduct and be dignified in their campaigns. So coming back to the real issue, lack of apathy. That is the number one reason, lack of apathy towards membership. They do not feel themselves as stakeholders. They feel they don't have a voice. We should work towards making this organization a member-driven organization and learn about their real issues, communicate and work towards providing valued benefits, resources based on their professional needs. Jab hum unke liye kaam karenge, they will come to us. And the second thing definitely is the lack of effective internal conflict resolution, use of pressure groups to influence results or outcome, resulting in a less satisfied member, putting the organization to a risk for liability. Before the third-party arbitration, we should deal with complaints just like we deal at our workplace. There should be a detailed conflict resolution policy navigating conflict with a more of a remedial approach. Then we have the third thing, I think that is something important that we need to talk about, is the alumni politics. Though through alumni, we are able to give back to our homeland and our respective alumni, the alumni politics has used a lot of oxygen in electioneering. This hinders the growth of the organization. The real future of any organization is the work that they do at the grassroots level, where the organization is based at. For this reason, we must empower chapters to work at the grassroots level to create an impact on well-being of the local communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, to answer this question. Now, same question I'm going to ask Dr. Humaira Qamar, 3 minutes. Let me repeat it. In your opinion, what are the 3 most common negative feelings/impressions an APPNA member and or non-member physician of Pakistani descent has about our organization, and your suggestions to reverse this feeling? Please go ahead, Dr. Humaira Qamar.
Thank you, Dr. Sabat. So the most damning thing that I hear about APPNA when I go around in the communities, in APPNA and non-APPNA communities, Pakistani American diaspora, is that APPNA is a social club and it's very limited in its scope. That rhetoric has to be defeated by concrete steps that we need to take as an organization to not only be working for our own physicians in this country, but also to be working for the diaspora in general, to improve not only our image, but to also do concrete steps for diaspora building. Let me give you an example. We were just talking about it. My esteemed colleagues were talking about the PMC issue. That's a very important point. Yes, everybody's on everybody's mind about this new accreditation thing that has come up recently in the news and social media. A lot of panic was created. And the good news is that Dr. Nusram Iqbal from Allama Iqbal, he's on the forefront of this, and he has told us that he went and met with the PMC and they're taking care of this. So that's an awesome thing. We work for physicians. We are APPNA, we are a physician organization. We are helping out the physicians. But most importantly, we also need to do things for communities other than physicians, and that will defeat a lot of this rhetoric about APPNA being an exclusive club and being a rich club, and that you need a lot of money to attend APPNA. So definitely more community building. And towards that end, I had started a group, within, it was not an actual committee, but it was a subcommittee that was created to reach out to the Pakistani American diaspora. There are so many other professionals in this country who are doing tremendous job, business community, Pakistani American. APPNA should be building bridges with them also, and hence decreasing the social isolation that we sometimes get when we talk to other successful groups or non-successful groups in this country who are Pakistani Americans. And then, like I said, that this perception that you have to be very rich to attend APPNA, we have to encourage our young physicians to come. Maybe there should be some sort of a fund created. I know we do a lot of good work for YPC through YPC Young Physician Committee. There should be some scholarships created so that young residents and physicians who are just coming out of residencies or going through fellowships can attend APPNA meetings and get to see firsthand what exactly APPNA is, and that will defeat this rhetoric that goes
30
around.
seconds, please.
And then, most importantly, again, this conflict resolution and litigation. No litigation, please. That is what gives APPNA the worst name ever. And members get discouraged. And it's terrible image for APPNA. So no litigation, please. And towards that end, robust internal resolution, conflict resolution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marakamar, for answering this question. Now we'll move on to second question. And this time I'll ask Dr. Lubna Naeem to answer this first. The question is, in your opinion, what are the 3 strategies APPNA as an organization should adapt to be physically and financially viable in the future? Go ahead, Dr. Lubna Naeem, please, for 3 minutes.
Thank you. First, I would like to share my experience and then we'll talk about it. So we need to know that our meetings are practically the sole source of income to run the operations. During my tenure here, there was a record meeting revenue of more than 1.5 million in 2018. Record market growth profit on asset portfolio, which later enabled the organization to utilize funds during pandemic. For the first time, we did comparative analysis of APPNA asset portfolio with 5 big investment firms, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. Although it was a record success year, I realized what if, and it was before pandemic. I realized we should not put all our eggs in one basket. And at that time, I inaugurated APPNA's physician career portal as a resource for job posting and practice development. We talk about TV, buildings, and all that, but please look no further. Your best resource is your own member. Provide them valued benefit and they will help the organization. Expand the physician career portal and operate professionally like New England Journal of Medicine. Increase its audience for who are looking for J1, H1 job posting, post for staff openings, search products and services, and buy or sell practice. We pay close to $3,000 for a 5-line ad in a New England Journal of Medicine. Again, this could be a resource. So please do not look any further. We must reach out to large groups emphasizing physician services and services that our organization is providing to the individual members. That'll be a great resource. Number 2, seriously create a policy and a standard of procedure manual for conducting APPNA meetings to ensure stable growth. Either professionals or event managers should be conducting the meeting. There should be an oversight committee to review the track progress and minimize the risks. And third, but this is probably one of the most important we should emphasize, and that is empower YPC and create a clear database for all the students, young physicians, residents, and fellows, and make them members. They are our best resource. We are helping them become part of American fabric with the hope of becoming part of APPNA's fabric. So these are, I think, important solutions, and I hope we adopt them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lubna Naeem, for answering this question. Now, Dr. Humaira Qamar, same question. I will repeat it. In your opinion, what are the 3 strategies APPNA as an organization should adapt to be physically and financially viable in the future? Please go ahead for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Sabat. So the most important thing I feel like that, we talk about APPNA's perception. In order to improve our perception and also to improve our financial bottom line, we have to think beyond this, the meetings revenue that we talk about, like 2020, 2019, 2020 were washouts because there were no meetings. When I took over in 2021, APPNA was in red, there was no meeting revenue. Our, the lifetime dues endowment fund were divided between 2 companies that actually increased the fees for APPNA to invest, because one of them is a monitored account, the other one is not a monitored account. But the fees increased and we ended up spending more money on that. So we have to think beyond the box. So one of the things I would like to talk about today is opening an APPNA hospital and a medical school here and in Pakistan. That's going to be an excellent revenue source for APPNA and will generate tremendous goodwill for APPNA. People will see something concrete. People will see something good being done. And again, APPNA is a 501(c)(3) organization. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that in order for us to run and successfully operate a for-profit, how do we manage that? Which can be done, with the resources that APPNA, tremendous resources and tremendous talent that APPNA has. I'm impressed every time about how talented APPNA is. So that is the main thing I want to talk about. And that will also be, like I said, generate goodwill in this country for APPNA. And, our residents, our physicians can go and do registration in Pakistan. We as attendings can go and work in Pakistan. number one. And number two, we'll also give an opportunity for Pakistani physicians to come and work here. And for NAMA graduates, kids who grow up in this country can go back and work in those hospitals and teaching hospitals and, gain clinical experience and gain, very, very insightful experience there that will help us tremendously. So this is the main revenue stream that I want to talk about. Plus another thing we have also often overlooked is that other than hospital, we can open smaller cath labs, outpatient surgery centers. APPNA can work out the details of owning such surgery centers, encourage our members to do them, and take part in them. And then of course, make them stakeholders. Everybody wants to help APPNA, but everybody is in practice. We are all doing well, but so unless you give them stake in this.
30 seconds, please.
So these are some of the things that I think. And the third point is, most importantly, is that, when I took over, for some reason, this Dr. Naeem was talking about when she was there, they had started this online job postings, but it wasn't functional. So we did work on that. That needs to be emphasized more and worked out more. Use not only job, ads, but also go ahead and start doing, start advertising.
Dr. Humera Qamar, thank you so much
you.
for your answer. Same question to Dr. Asif Mahyuddin now. In your opinion, what are the 3 strategies APPNA as an organization should adapt to be physically and financially viable in the future? Go ahead, Dr. Asif Mahyuddin, please.
I think APPNA revenue sources are limited to pretty much 2 things: membership dues and annual meetings. We have to move away from this. I launched a social media platform on APPNA, the APPNAtube, a very catchy name that I coined. Within a few days of the launch, this channel has now hundreds of subscribers. If we can combine all the Merit and other channels and push content, we will have 1,000 plus members already and 4,000 watch hours, and we can start monetizing this channel. We can use this channel to generate revenue for APPNA, which can be used in other projects. We can have different playlists, different contents, and we can push contents to younger students or residents. We could have a tele-shadowing channel. We could have a APPNA TV channel, which I would work if I was in the office. We need to create CME, board review courses, which could be a good source of income for APPNA. Personally, as a gastroenterologist, we have a lot of space for board review, especially coming from these big titan names that we have in APGNA in APPNA. So this is another channel that we could create for revenue generation. Grants. We have never tapped into grants. We need to have revenue generation from grants as a 501c. If given the chance, I will have an individual who will be experienced in grant writing, and he would or she would be welcomed, and we would partner with them and find grants for this organization that would be a huge source of windfall. Look at our meetings, try to do meetings in new cities, try to sell the bazaar in a different way. Maybe we can do a Amazon marketplace type structure where we share revenues and percentages that would probably bring more money. APPNA Medical School in Pakistan, and even here, if we could have a fully accredited medical school that could provide significant revenue to APPNA. And it could have a place where our children could go and graduate from an accredited institution. This has become a big problem now that we have this condition where in Pakistan, we may lose accreditation.
30 seconds.
We also need to create research and innovation, which could be another revenue. I have a vision for a centralized research institute. We can all collaborate with research companies in the US and conduct studies in Pakistan and locally, which could also be another source of revenue.
Thank you, Asif, so much to answer your question. We'll now move on to third question, very important question. We have a new system of election, and this started this year. So obviously we have to move forward in the future based on input by members, by candidates, to bring changes into our electioneering system and improve things for our organization. So this question is to Dr. Humaira Qamar, answering first. As a president-elect candidate, how do you feel about the existing election process and your suggestions to improve it? Go ahead, Dr. Humaira Qamar, for 3 minutes, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Abad. So this is an extremely important question, and it's cyclical, right? Every time there is an election cycle going on in APPNA, this comes up in our minds, and and how we behave, how we conduct ourselves. And these rules can only be made so much unless and until we all agree to follow the rules to the best of our ability with great conscience and integrity. No matter how many rules you make, people will still break them. That's point number one I want to make, which every year we see that happening, whether it's on social media or in personal conduct and stuff. The most important thing I think that can be done to improve this current election process with the new cable is to make sure that the physician members are allowed to make phone calls. Only members, not their cronies or non-physician people, should be allowed to make phone calls. One phone call per candidate per person should be allowed. They can call, leave a message, and please be cognizant of the fact that there is a no call list also that APPNA follows. So a physician is there which says no call, then obviously they're completely off the table. But if they're saying it's okay, then one phone call on their cell phone, not their home phone numbers, not their work phone numbers, should be made so that we as candidates can introduce ourselves to the membership. That's a very, very important link that has been broken in the last couple of years. Because see, APPNA is a unique cultural and ethnic and professional organization. So our members' expectation is that they will be getting phone calls from the candidates. And they like that. I like that. I like the contact with the members. When I call, get to talk to people. So many stories I hear, so many viewpoints, it enriches me as a candidate. So that important link has to be restored. And again, like I said, we all have to, we all sign the code of conduct, but please allow us to make phone calls, number one. Number two, this year, there has been tremendous improvement by allowing social media. But social media is an animal that once unleashed has to be it's a Frankenstein. So we have to be cognizant of that also. Try to have some sort of a muted, social media presence. Candidates can present themselves on the social media, that's perfectly fine, but don't go after other candidates, no negative campaigning, and then highlight your own achievements. So that's what I'm happy with that. So the only thing I would recommend to conclude is please allow phone calls, one phone call per person, per candidate. And so this breakdown in communication between us and the membership gets broken. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Humaira Qamar, to answer this question. Now it is turn of us of Dr. Asif Mayuddin to answer the same question. As a president-elect candidate, how do you feel about the existing election process and your suggestions to improve it? Dr. Asif Mayuddin, please go ahead for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Ashraf. You have done a great job. It's very hard to conduct elections in APPNA because of polarization. However, we need to look at the code of conduct. It needs to be revamped. The rules are made only to be broken. It seems there's this culture that if you're not looking and nobody's reporting, it's okay to break rules. That is not right. There are candidates on this forum who have started campaigning beginning of the year. When your code of conduct says they cannot, they are calling members for the whole year, over and over, texting over and over. Just because nobody reported them, they can get away with it. This is not fair. The biggest problem is the vetting process. You do not have a real vetting process. In your code of conduct, you talk about people who have legal issues or Medicare frauds, and you are letting candidates run who have that kind of past. You talk about having a candidate who sue APPNA not to run, you're letting that happen. Again, this is unbelievable. You have to wait for somebody to complain? No, the vetting process is started when they submit the nomination. And then before you announce the slate, you need to vet the candidates. You cannot let this go on and be possible that we can get away with it. There is supposed to be no texting, no calling, and over 8 months, the candidates have been calling and texting. This needs to stop. We need to verify candidates' achievements. Respected Dr. Hammer went on a trip to California. Nice, hardworking people came to see and hear her. She tells them, I did not run for my alumni president because I was so busy running APPNA. This is on record. Please go look at it. This is absolutely untrue. She ran for secretary, she ran for president of alumni, and she lost both times because people know what her candidacy would bring. It would sow division and have a toxic leadership. So she lost to both times. So why would she lie, and why would you let her get away with this lie? This is not right. NSC needs to enforce rules and have a culture where you cannot break rules, and you would have to be, honorable and have to be law-abiding.
30 seconds, Dr. Asif.
We need to empower the NEC to implement these rules. And I also think that you look at the medical societies who have elections, they are very non-polarized. We can have a campaign on an electronic platform on APPNA website where we can all engage, all of us have the same chances. We can use YouTube to push our content to all 3,000 members and let them have a fair campaign free of negative.
Thank you, Dr. Asif Mayuddin, for your answer. Appreciate that. Now we'll take the same question to Dr. Lubna Naeem. As a president-elect candidate, how do you feel about the existing election process and your suggestions to improve this process? Dr. Lubna Naeem, please go ahead.
Yes, again, thank you, Sabahat. You're doing a great job conducting this meeting. So again, the guidelines should be the guidelines that candidate can abide by. And, there are candidates like me who try to follow the rules as much as we can. And then there are candidates, and, we are shortchanged when we start our campaign, however you allow us to do after a certain time. There was a candidate who emailed blast the entire membership last year that, that candidate is going to be the president-elect candidate for this year, which is utter, breaking the code of conduct. Similarly, it's just the negative campaigning from this one candidate has been unleashed on me, which has hurt, my reputation. And also, it has hurt my family. So, when we say we should just walk the talk and not just talk about it, and we should be dignified in our campaign. So I'm very, disappointed that, this is happening. However, coming back to the guidelines, the guidelines again, we need to either relax it or we need to not have these guidelines that, people just break and they come on and they say, and just, say that this is something that they also believe in that. However, my suggestion would be that allow these candidates to have a Zoom meeting because it is cost effective for the component society meetings when there's a component, so that they don't have to jet set. It's a lot of funds. Not everybody is so rich to spend that kind of money jet setting and meets and greets and whatnot. That should be done over a number of years, not the last minute. However, if we allow that to happen, just please, have a limitation on how much money one can spend on the campaign, have a quota for campaign funds. I would say Zoom meetings are effective, they're cost effective, and all these component societies, we should allow to present ourselves in Zoom meetings. APPNA can conduct that, so each candidate has a level playing field. And another important thing I would like to highlight is the elections of board of directors and the president should not be run together.
30 seconds, please.
Because this pretty much favors the big alumni, and the small alumni candidates, they have compelling resume, but they are depending on the bigger alumni to make either alliances, which is against the spirit of elections. The elections, definitely, we should avoid that. So pretty much allow the candidates to do a campaign which provides equal opportunity and level playing field for all.
Thank you, Dr. Naeem, so much for your answer. Just to clarify a few things, I intentionally had this question in the debate today because we obviously need to improve the process. We should keep this in mind. In the past, a lot of things were in code of conduct, which NEC was able to change or suggest some changes. But now majority of these pieces which we discussed, they are part of APPNA bylaws now. So even NEC cannot amend or change phone calls or texting and stuff like that. So in order to reverse, we need suggestions by candidates. Before end of my term this year, I'm going to submit a report to Cable Committee to my recommendations for the future improvement in election process and election rules. So please do submit those based on your experience this year, so I can make a report and forward to our Cable Committee, because Cable Committee need to amend bylaws to have these changes implemented in the future. Now, last part of our debate, it's a closing statement. Now it is term of Dr. Asif Mahyuddin to start. So go ahead, Asif Mahyuddin, for 3 minutes, please, your closing statement. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have a clear choice to make starting August 15th. You have a choice between a candidate with integrity and character or one with a checkered past. A candidate who sued APPNA or a candidate who has worked in the last 8 months to try to protect APPNA from a lawsuit. We have a candidate with a clean campaign or a candidate who slanders and takes it into a negative territory. We have a lot of work to do. We have to unite together, work in harmony for the betterment of APPNA, and for work across the aisle, get alumni together. There is a lot of hidden gems in this organization. We need to get them out. We need to use this talent across the alumni lines, put them in committees based on merit. Stop the negative image of APPNA, spin a positivity by appointing a member experience officer who can spin that narration to members. Change the way the membership is experiencing APPNA's leadership and have a positive. We need to strengthen APPNA economically, build different revenues of monetization. For example, the social media that I created could become a monetizing channel very soon, within a few weeks. Talk about CME, talk about board review. We can have all these revenues that can become very useful source for a generation of revenue. APPNA TV channel is another option. Of course, building institutions in Pakistan, it's a big task. It's a long task. It will take long time. We need presidents, at least for 5 years, who have that commitment and who will take this organization in that direction. With people like Saeed Akhtar and others who can deliver. We can also do the same thing here in United States. We need to become even more open and acceptable to other alumni and other organizations and work with them to gain much better traction. We have a problem with accreditation of medical school in Pakistan. We need to work with PMC and get this accreditation done. We have had a good start, but this is just the beginning and we have to work a long time. Dr. Nusram Iqbal and others have done a tremendous job, and hats off to them. Grant writing is a great way to have a windfall for APPNA.
30 seconds.
We should look into it. APPNA should have meetings in many different cities and have generation of revenue like we had this year. Monetize the bazaar. There's so much we can achieve together with harmony and respect and transparency and commitment. In the end, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to decide in the 2 days who you want to have as a leader. Please vote with conscience. And I wish good luck to all my opponents despite their negativity. And let's let the best.
Thank you, Dr. Asif Mahyuddin. Thank you so much. Now it is Dr. Lubna Naeem's turn for the closing statement. Please go ahead for 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabahat. I would say, like most of you, we came to United States for an opportunity and to acquire the best possible medical education and be the best doctors and be part of American legacy. For past 6 to 8 years, I've probably traveled to each state and met most of you to find out that your real issues are not so different than the other physicians. You raised this concern multiple times. Why is APPNA not representing your real issues? And this sentiment was highlighted during pandemic the most, when you were struggling with PPEs, staff, staff issues, loan programs, health concerns, burnouts, and deaths. The healthcare system problems we are facing are being faced by the physicians of the entire country. We should be at the table during debate on the healthcare reforms and all issues facing medical professions. Remember, if we are not on the table, we'll probably be part of the menu. It's time we integrate with other professional organizations and have a seat on the table at AMA. It's time we raise voice against legislation on healthcare law, such as eliminating health disparities, urgent Congress to reject Medicare and Medicaid pay cuts, talking about South Asian health issues, talking about South Asian physician problems, protecting physician scope of practice. As president, we will work towards making this organization a member-driven organization and upgrade valued benefits and resources, especially to younger physicians, equal representation for women physicians in all governance strata, and equal opportunity performance-oriented committee structure, leadership education and jurisdiction of the roles without dominating the other, work on policy and procedure manual consisting with mission and bylaws, continue all successful flagship projects of APPNA and its alumni. The membership is exhausted with year-round electioneering. It takes too much of its oxygen. We need more volunteers than chiefs. Bottom line, there needs to be a paradigm shift. It's time we build bridges through the power of service and compassion. Our world is in need for more people who do things for the pure sake of helping one another, and we are in desperate need for such unity. We hope the direction of coming together, collaboration, and volunteering will influence to bring that positive change. In fact, the members are the true organizational leaders who help us pave our way to the future. We could not accomplish anything without your support.
30 seconds, please.
I asked you to stay engaged and help us shape and develop APPNA into an institutional legacy. I am your candidate. Please vote for me on my proven success record. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lubna Naeem. Now, closing statement by Dr. Humaira Qamar. 3 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Sabahat. Just a quick hark back to what the previous question, although mentioned about, you were asking about how to improve the election process, but my opponent, Dr. Mohyuddin, spent half of his time talking about slandering, and then he himself went ahead and slandered me and negative. So this is his modus operandi, which I guess this is how he operates. So I will not get into it too much, but Dr. Mohyuddin, you went to California, had an event, and now you're going back after you're going to the same restaurant and inviting the same people to the thing and talk about, your campaign. So think before you put these things on debates, Dr. Mohyuddin. It shows very petty thinking. It does not show quiet competence. It shows idle gossip. So please refrain from that. I can mention also that you talk about how in your practice you do research, and looking into it, your office is not a research center. It's a private office, which, some of the research companies pay and enroll patients. So I can bring up these issues also. Also this year, on March 2nd, you voted against arbitration on the current cable issue, hence pushing APPNA towards litigation. That needs to be brought to the members' attention also. So your, thing that you're presenting needs to be corrected. And then Dr. Lubna Naeem talked about how last year another candidates had sent it, but she also needs to know that since last year, she's been making phone calls. My dear APPNA family, I'm going to quickly conclude my statement. I've served APPNA for 25 years. Through times of growth and stagnation, I've squared my shoulders and gotten to work as a leader, advocate, and activist. I wholeheartedly believe that our mission of unity is far more important than any group or identity politics. As president, I vow to remain accessible and accountable to all members, not just to those who vote for me, but also to those who don't vote for me. As an independent candidate, not affiliated with any special interest group within or outside of APPNA, I will use my vote in the board of directors responsibly, will always vote for APPNA first and foremost, and never for litigation. I am poised to make the tough and necessary decisions for institution building, not personal gain. As APPNA treasurer, I introduced new innovative streams of revenue by creating both the e-bazaar and e-classified. So APPNA has already that, was being mentioned by my two opponents, APPNA already has a website that has been monetized, and vendors can also advertise on that, and hence APPNA can make money.
30 seconds more, please.
I revised and updated APPNA's financial policy and had my budget unanimously approved by APPNA Council twice. This year, the president-elect choice is clear, ladies and gentlemen. Please choose a candidate with the most experience, integrity, and independence. I'm the only candidate who has never sued APPNA or voted for litigation for APPNA. Last year, I worked diligently to avoid litigation regarding the alliance matter, which was subsequently settled by arbitration. Let us defeat negative stereotypes and choose merit above all others.
Thank you,
I
Dr. Humera Qamar.
I volunteer
It's, end of 3 minutes. I really appreciate your participation today. Thank you so much for joining today's debate. We are going to post this on not only on APPNA website, but also on Facebook page. So general membership can observe and they can log on and check. We are going to send this link to general membership so they can come up and view the debate later. So thanks so much again for joining today. Have a wonderful day and talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.